Good morning, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the private conference for today, dated October 19, 2023. Today, we'll be having a private conference for 7 civil works project, of which we have 5 multipurpose building, 1 flood control, and 1 bridge. So before we start, let us all stand for a prayer.
Mapagmahal na Ama, gabayan niyo po kami sa bagong umaga na ito. Patawarin niyo po kami sa lahat ng aming masala. Tulungan niyo po kaming tumulong sa aming kapwa-tao sa lahat ng aming gagawin upang mamuhay kami ng maayos at mapayapa. Amen.
Let's all be seated. Once again, good morning to each and everyone, to our to fellow back members, to all our viewers via YouTube Live, our observers and prospective bidders. I would like to acknowledge our former chief, my brother, engineer Rogelio Marata. Good morning, sir. So, okay. So, to continue for this private conference, may I request our brother secretariat, Engineer Brian Nailagusto, who are the invited observers for. But before you will read the observers, may you first read the attendance for today's private conference and declare if we have a quorum. Okay, please read the observers for today's private conference.
Thank you, Mr. Back Chair, and a pleasant morning to all. And for the official observers for today's private conference, for our first official observer is for the resident auditor, Commission on Audit, DPWH Nueva Vizcaya First District Engineering Office, Bayambong Nueva Vizcaya. And our second official observer is Environmental Planner Maria Ana M. Pulido, CE, National President, Philippine Institute of Environmental Planners, PIEP, from UP Diliman, Quezon City. And for our third official observers is Engineer Gladys G. Tiburcio, alternate observer from the National Constructors Association of the Philippines Incorporated from Aritao, Nueva Vizcaya. So these are the official observers for today's private conference of seven civil works projects to it. Thank you.
Engineer Brian Augusto, we forgot to how you derive the who are the chosen observers, particularly the from the NGO. Kindly post the roulette. Oh, okay, Engineer Brian Augusto.
Noted, sir. May we see on the
Please.
screen for the selection of the observers for the national government organization. Thank you. Sir, here is the official observers from the Philippine Institute of Environmental Planners, uh, represented by Ms. Ana Maria Pulido, CE, Environmental Planner. Thank you.
So thank you, Engineer Brian Augusto. So our official observers for the procurement activities for these 7 civil works projects, uh, particularly we have the resident auditor, the representative from the National Philippine Institute of Environmental Planners, represented by Environmental Planner Maria Ana M. Pulido. And the third observer is Engineer Gladys G. Tiburcio, alternate observer for the National Contractors Association of the Philippines Incorporated, Aritao, Nueva Vizcaya. All of the three are not present, so but we have already sent them letters, particularly as post in the sent by the other are sent by through email, and for the auditor we have receipt. So to continue again, Engineer Brian L. Augusto, our head secretariat, kindly read the attendance and declare if we have a quorum.
A pleasant morning again, once again, and for our YouTube live viewers, and for today's undertaking, which is the private conference of civil works projects, for the attendance of the bids and awards committee members, we have Engineer Valentino B. Sareno,
Present.
BAC Chairman, Chief Planning and Design Section, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe,
Present.
BAC Vice Chairman, Chief Quality Assurance Section, Madam Veronica Gilio Davico,
Present.
BAC Regular Member, Chief Administrative Section, Architect Ivy O. Salazar, BAC Provisional Member for all types of project procurement, Engineer Bayani F. Molina, Provisional Member and User from the Construction Section, Engineer Jermin B. Benavista, Provisional Member and User from the Planning and Design Section. And for the roll call, sir, of the BAC Secretariat, yours truly, Brian Neil G. Augusto, Head. For the BAC Secretariat members, we have Mr. Remio A. Santos, Member, Mr. Allen Edward G. Damaso, BAC Sec Member, Miss Simonette T. Lacorda, BAC Secretariat Member, Miss Ande Erica Fatima P. Cabang, BAC Secretariat Member, and Miss Lutgarda D. Reyes, BAC Secretariat Member. And for the BAC Technical Working Group, sir, who are present for today's private conference, we have Engineer Reden A. Milyare, TWG Member, Engineer Angie A. Reyes, TWG Member, Engineer Narcisa M. Santos, TWG Member, and Engineer Myrtle G. Degamo, TWG members. And for the prospective bidders, sir, who are present here for today's activity, may we acknowledge the presence of Sir Rogelio, Engineer Rogelio A. Marata. Good morning again, sir, from the from Crest Construction, sustaining technical employee. And for the personnel, sir, who prepared the plans and DEDs for this particular projects, we have Engineer Jerry Tan II from from the Planning and Design Section, Engineer Marston Glenn A. Digamo from Planning and Design Section, Engineer Maria Angelica F. De La Cruz from Planning and Design Section, and Engineer Chini Nicole C. Rojas from Planning and Design Section. Sir, majority Miss Chini, Engineer Chini Nicole C. Ramos. Okay, thank you. And sir, majority of the back composition is hereby present for today activity. Therefore, there is a constitution of quorum. Thank you.
Again, thank you, Engineer Brian Neil Augusto, our head secretariat. Since we have a quorum, as BAC Chair, I now declare that these procurement activities is officially open and in order. So to continue, before I will read the agenda for today's procurement activities, I will first read the 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184, particularly Section 22, which is the pre-bid conference. 22.3, the pre-bid conference shall discuss, clarify, and explain, among the other things, the eligibility requirements and the technical and financial components of the contract to be bid, including questions and clarifications raised by the prospective bidders before and during the pre-bid conference. The minutes of pre-bid conference shall be recorded and prepared not later than 5 calendar days after the pre-bid conference and shall be made available to prospective bidders not later than 5 days upon written request. Decisions of the BAC amending any provisions of the bidding documents shall be issued in writing through a supplemental bid bulletin at least 7 calendar days before the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. That is Section 22, the Private Conference of RA 91, 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184. So so I will read the agenda for today's private conference. The first agenda, the basic contract data to be discussed to us, the preparers and of the from the planning of and design section, the engineers. For the second agenda, requirements of bidding documents to be discussed to us by our head secretariat, Engineer Brian Nilagusto. For the third agenda, documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposals. Again, by our head secretariat, Engineer Brian Nilagusto. For number 4, criteria and procedure for the preliminary examination of the bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification and award, to be discussed to us by our provisional member for all types of procurement, architect IB Salazar. And number 5, questions, comments from bidders and replies of BAC and other representatives of procuring entity. This for BAC and our prospective bidders. Number 6, other matters, if any. Number 7, summary of proceedings including bid, bulletins, addenda to be issued if there is any. So let's proceed for the number 1 agenda. For number 1 agenda, the civil basic contract data. For contract ID number 23BI0118, the name of project is the infrastructure program, multipurpose buildings / facilities to support social services, construction of multipurpose building, Poblacion, Villaverde, Nueva. My request, Engineer Angie Reyes, the preparer of this project, to discuss in details the scope of work of this particular project for the benefit of our prospective bidders and our YouTube live viewers. Engineer Angie Reyes, take it away.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Angie Argel Reyes from the Planning and Design section, the preparer of the above-mentioned project. So the location of the project is Villaverde, Nueva Vizcaya. The approved budget for the contract is 4,950,000. Project description, construction of two-story multipurpose hall. Duration of the project, 180 calendar days. Cost of bid documents, 5,000 pesos. Source of fund, FY 2023. And the pickup license size range is small b. Next slide po. Slide number 4 po. So this is the project location. The arrow pointing north leads to Villaverde and the bottom arrow leads to Solano. Next slide po. So this is the geotech description of the location of the project. The existing plant box will be removed. Yung nandyan po. Next slide. So this is the first floor plan. The proposed project is a 12-meter by 6-meter two-story multipurpose building. The design and incorporated spaces, including the office of the barangay captain, treasury office, open office, and 3 toilets, which will cater female, male, and PWDs. Next slide po. For the second floor, we have the session hall and the waiting area. Next slide. This is the front elevation, rear elevation, right side elevation, left side elevation. This project will be constructed completely from the foundations, columns, beams, roofing systems, and other finishing. Plumbing systems for water supply and drainage, including sanitary fixtures and pipeline, shall be provided and to be tapped with the barangay's existing water source. Electrical wirings, outlets, switches, lighting fixtures shall also be provided. The entire flooring will be installed with unglazed tiles. Ceiling for both exterior and interior shall be installed. Walls will be plastered and painted. This project will be completed within 180 calendar days, inclusive of predetermined Sundays and holidays. That would be all po. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Angie Reyes, for discussing to us the project with contract ID number 23BI01118. So, may I ask from our YouTube live viewers, we have any questions or clarification regarding this particular project? So, none. How about fellow back members? Let's start from the planning and design section. Do you have any question or clarifications? Particularly the basic contract data as discussed.
Mr. Chair, I have no clarification or rather amendments.
Noted, Engineer Jermaine Benavista. About Engineer Bayani Molina from construction section.
No amendments, sir.
Okay, thank you. Noted. Madam Veronica Ludovico from regular member.
I have no amendment, Mr. Chair.
Noted, Madam Veron. About our back vice chair, do you have any question, clarification, or any amendment for this particular project?
No amendments, Mr. Chair.
Noted. About our provisional member for all types of procurement, Architect IB Salazar. Do you have any questions or clarification or amendment?
No amendments, sir.
Okay. Since we have no, anonymously, we have no amendment for this particular project, let's proceed for the second project with contract ID number 23BI0119. The name of project, Infrastructure Program, Multipurpose Buildings Facilities to Support Social Services, Completion of Multipurpose Building, Bintawan, Norte, Villaverde, Nueva Vizcaya. This project will be discussed to us by the preparer, Engineer Chini Nicole Rojas. Engineer Rojas, take it away.
Good morning, everyone. I am Chini Nicole Rojas from Planning and Design section, and allow me to present to you the project ID 23BI0119 with the name of Project Infrastructure Program, Multipurpose Buildings Facilities to Support Social Services, Completion of Multipurpose Building, Bintawan Norte, Villaverde, Nueva Vizcaya. The approved budget for the contract is 1,980,000, and the project description of completion of two-story multipurpose hall. The duration of the project is 85 calendar days, and the cost of bid documents, 5,000 pesos. The source of fund will be the FY 2023 and the PCAB license size range small b. Shown on the screen is the location of the proposed project. The arrow pointing north leads to Villaverde, while the arrow pointing at the bottom points to Solano, which also serve as the source of materials. Next, please. Next, please. The project will involve the completion of a 7.5 meters by 12 meters multi-purpose building located in Bintawan, Norte, scheduled to be completed within a span of 85 calendar days. The scope of work will encompass various tasks, including the removal and replacement of the ramp, the provision of wall enclosure and openings at the lobby, as well as the installation of glass partitions on the second floor. All doors within the building's comfort rooms will be replaced, as well as the urinal lavatories and provision of the tileworks and canopy. The project will also address the removal and replacement of the damaged lighting fixtures, and comprehensive painting works will be undertaken both in the building's interior and exterior. Next, please. Here is the second floor plan. Next, please. This is the front elevation. Next, the rear elevation, right side elevation, and this is the left side elevation, the section through AA, section through B. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Chini Nicole Rojas, for that discussing the scope of work and details for this particular project. So again, may I ask the Secretariat from our YouTube live viewers, particularly our prospective bidders, to have any questions or clarification for the project number 2? None. From our prospective bidders present? Oh, sama ka. Oh, yun. Busy. So, fellow PAC member, let's start from the planning and design section. Engineer Jermin Benavista.
I have no amendments, Mr. Chair.
Okay, noted, Engineer Benavista. About the Engineer Bayani Molina.
Also, sir, I have no amendments, sir.
Okay, noted. Architect IB Salazar, or a provisional member for all types of...
I have no amendments, sir.
Okay, noted. Madam Veronica Leodupico, or regular member.
No amendment, Mr. Bak, Chair.
Noted, Madam Veron. Or how about back Vice Chair, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe?
No amendment, Mr. Chair.
Noted. Since we have no amendment for this particular project with contract ID number 23BI00199, so we'll adapt the basic contract data as advertised. So let's proceed for project number 3 with contract ID number 23BI0120. Name of project, infrastructure program, multipurpose buildings, facilities to support social services, construction of multipurpose building, Dulli, Ambaguio, Nueva Vizcaya. Location is at Ambaguio, Nueva Vizcaya. Again, this will be again discussed to us by the preparer, Engineer Chini Nicole Rojas. Engineer Rojas, take it away.
Once again, good morning. For this particular project with the contract ID 23BI0120 is the construction of multi-purpose building, Dulli, Ambaguio, Nueva Vizcaya. The approved budget for the contract is 4,950,000, and with the project description of construction of 8 meters by 12 meters, two-story multi-purpose hall, and the duration of the project is 190 calendar days. The cost of bid documents, 5,000. Source of fund, fiscal year 2023, and PCAB license size range, small b. So shown on your screen is the project location located in Ambaguio. The proposed project, 8 meters by 12 meters multipurpose hall located in Ambaguio will involve all phases of construction, starting from laying of the foundation, construction of columns and beams from all levels, installation of roof framing works excluding the reflective insulation as well as the finishing works which comprises the flooring, ceiling, and wall finishes. In addition, the scope of work also includes electrical, excluding lighting fixtures and oscillating fan, and also the plumbing system installation. Here is the ground floor and second floor plan. This is the front elevation. The rear elevation. This is the right side elevation. Left side elevation. The section through A. Section through B. And that's it. Thank you po.
Again, thank you, Engineer Rojas. So again, may I ask from the Secretariat, does anyone who have any questions or clarification from our YouTube live viewers, especially our prospective bidders? None? How about from our prospective bidder present? None? So from let's proceed from
Mr. Chair, may I be recognized?
yes, Mr. Back Vice Chair, you're recognized.
The technical personnel who prepared the plans and the program of work mentioned that there are several part of the building that is exempted. And then a while ago, she mentioned that the plumbing system is also exempted.
No, sir.
Plumbing system. You mentioned a while ago that the plumbing system
Included po yung plumbing system, sir.
included yung plumbing system.
Bale yung lighting fixtures, reflective insulation, and oscillating fan are excluded, sir.
So meron yung plumbing rough-ins and then plumbing fixtures.
Yes, sir.
Kasi ang dinig ko kanina to exclude the plumbing system. Oh. So you also mentioned that there is no anong tawag? DJMP ceiling? Anong tawag doon? Insulator. No need naman na mag-insulator ka doon. Since meron namang later on, although the ceiling is exempted, di ba?
It's also included, sir.
Ceiling doon sa may second floor?
Yes, sir. Bale yung reflective insulation lang po talaga yung wala, and then yung lighting fixtures and oscillating fan.
You also mentioned that the flooring, particularly the finishing of the flooring at the second floor is exempted.
Sorry,
Walang
sir.
tiles.
Meron po. Baka po yung pagkakasabi ko lang po. May kama po dapat.
So you mean to
Included.
say the building is complete?
Yes, sir. Excluding lang po yung tatlo po.
Can you mention again the exemption, the exclusion part of the building?
Excluding reflective insulation, oscillating fan, and lighting fixtures, sir.
Lighting fixtures. Are you particular to that place? Did you already visited the area?
No, sir.
So you do not know the terrain?
I have never been there, sir.
Who assisted you in the preparation of the program of work? Kasi mahirap yung lugar doon, especially yung delivery ng materials at saka yung derivation ng mga aggregates. Baka naman gumamit kayo ng standard na derivation.
Sir, meron pong transshipment yan.
Yes, sir, ako po yung nag-validate dun sa location po ng Dulli.
How about the derivation of the aggregates? Kasi mountainous area yon.
Sir, nagbawas naman po dun sa capacity nung truck na aakyat, sir. Bale na additional pa yun, sir, sa transshipment fee.
So hindi siya standard
Yes,
na derivation ng cost ng
Yes, sir.
aggregates. Ano ko lang kasi I'm very particular to that place. mahirap yung daan papunta doon. Especially during rainy season, you need a 4x4 delivery vehicles to para makarating doon sa site. Yun lang, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, our Vice Chair, Engineer Danilo Bernape, for the clarification. So it was answered by our preparer and assisted by Engineer Jerry Tan, the queries. So let's proceed for the fourth project with contract ID number 23BI0121. It is the construction of multipurpose building at Uddiawan, Solano, Nueva Vizcaya. To be discussed to us by okay. Okay, I forgot to ask other back members who let's start for the project number T. Let's Engineer Jeremy Bermista from the planning and the design section. Do you have any amendments for this particular project?
I have no amendments, Mr. Chair.
Okay, noted. Engineer Berabista. About Engineer Bayani Molina.
Same, sir. No amendments, sir.
Okay, noted. Engineer Architect Ivy Salazar.
No amendments, sir.
Noted. Madam Veronica Leodwiga, or regular member.
No amendment, Mr. Chair.
Noted, ma'am. About our back vice chairs.
Mr. Chair, since my query while ago were already explained and fully discussed by the preparer, I have no more amendments, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Noted, Mr. Back Vice Chair. So since we have no amendment for this particular project, so we'll adopt the basic contract data as advertised. So let's proceed for the project number 4 with contract ID number 23BI0121, which is the construction of multipurpose building at Uddiawan, Solano, Nueva Vizcaya. To be discussed to us by the preparer, engineer Maria Angelica de la Cruz. Engineer de la Cruz, take it away.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Maria Angelica de la Cruz from Planning and Design section. Allow me to present the contract ID 23BI0121 with the project name of Infrastructure Program Multipurpose Building / Facilities to Support Social Services, Construction of Multipurpose Building, Uddiawan, Solano, Nueva Vizcaya, with an approved budget for the contract 2,970,000 pesos, with a project description of construction of 10 meters by 15 meters multi-purpose hall, with a project duration of 135 calendar days. Source of fund FY 2023 and PCAD license size range of small b. Next, please. Next slide, please. So the project location is highlighted on the screen with a red circle and accompanied by a geotag description of 16.56139 north and 121.1480 east. The arrow pointing to the right leads to the Solano proper, and the arrow pointing at the left leads to the Barangay Comunal. Next slide, please. So here's the geotag photo of the project location. The project involves a series of construction phase, starting with the removal of the existing slab, making a way for the construction of the new structure. So our project will be constructed in front of the existing building. So this necessitates the construction of a solid foundation, the construction of a footing tie beam, and the assembly of beams and columns to support the structure. Furthermore, the project includes installation of the roof framing plan and establishing efficient systems for gutter, storm drainage, and downspouts. Finishings are added, such as plastering and painting for both the interior and exterior surfaces. Additionally, integral components like roll-up doors are installed and the electrical work is completed, integrating lighting fixtures and wall fans for a fully functional space. Regarding, next slide please. So here's the floor plan. This will serve as a function hall. Next slide please. The front elevation, the rear elevation, right side elevation, left side elevation, the section A, and the section B. So regarding for the location of the aggregates, they are situated approximately 22 kilometers away from the project site, which is at Villaverde Quarry, Vizcaya Quarry, sorry. And the source of materials will be at Solano. Vizcaya Desert. That would be all. Thank you. Mas, sir, mas malayo konti. Konti. Mas per chinig ko dun sa
That's all,
That would be
Engineer.
all.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Maria Angelica de la Cruz, for discussing to us the project number 4, which is construction of multipurpose building at Uddiawan, Solano, Nueva Vizcaya. So from the secretariat, again, may I ask, does anyone from our YouTube live viewers have a question or clarification for this particular project? None. So let's proceed for fellow back members. Let's start from the planning and design section.
May I be recognized, Mr. Chair?
Okay, before we go, yes, Mr. Back Vice Chair, Engineer Danilo Bernabe.
Just for clarification of the interested bidders, the proposed project will be constructed in front of the existing barangay hall.
Yes, sir.
The existing barangay hall has a protruding reinforcing steel bars at the left side for additional span. Are you aware of that? Sa left side.
Left side of the building.
Yes. But then the proposed building will be constructed in front of the existing barangay hall.
Yes, sir. That's their
That's the request?
yes, sir. That's their request, sir.
Is the 3 million appropriation is enough for the proposed construction of the multipurpose building to be located in front of the existing barangay hall?
Yes, sir.
Parang
Enclosed field.
Sige, kanya man kasi parang no exemption doon sa kwan
There
painting.
will be no tiles, sir.
Oh, kasi the roof framing is a dome type wherein the trusses are GI pipes.
Yes, sir.
Medyo mahirap lang kasi yun magawin. Baka makalimutan nyo. Iba yung labor doon at saka yung welding run. Maaksaya siya. That's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Danilo Bernabe, for the clarification as answered by Engineer De La Cruz. So let's proceed for the other members. Let's start from Engineer Jerwin Benavista from the Planning and Design section.
I have no amendments, Mr. Chair.
Okay, noted, Engineer Benavista. About Engineer Bayani Molina from Construction section.
No amendments, Mr. Chair.
Okay, noted. Architect Ivy Salazar or provisional member for all types of procurement.
No amendments, sir.
Okay, noted. Madam Veronica Leodebico, our regular member.
No amendments, Mr. Chair.
Noted, Madam. Our back Vice Chair, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe.
No amendments, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay, noted. Since anonymously we have no amendment for this particular project, particularly the basic contract data as advertised. So let's adapt the basic contract data as advertised. So let's proceed for the project number 5, which is the with contract ID number 23BI0122, which is the name of project, organizational outcome 1, ensure safe and reliable national road system bridge program, widening of permanent bridges, Tapaya Bridge, B04448 LZ along Daang Maharlika, LZ, Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya. This project is an augmentation for the approaches of the uh, bridge that was previously constructed located at Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya. This will be discussed again to us by the preparer, Engineer Maria Angelica de la Cruz. Engineer de la Cruz, take it away.
Good morning once again. Allow me to present the contract ID 23BI0122 with the name of Project Organizational Outcome 1, ensure safe and reliable national road system bridge program, widening of permanent bridges, Tapaya Bridge along the Daang, Maharlika, Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya. With an approved budget for the contract, 19,300,000, with a project description of improvement of bridge approaches, duration of 142 calendar days. Source of fund, FY 2023, with a pickup license size range of small b. Next slide, please. So on the screen, you can see a project location map. The red arrow marks the path leading to Manila, which falls under our section 1, starting at kilometer 288585 and ending at kilometer 288685, covering a distance of 100 meters. Similarly, the blue arrow points to the destination in Isabela, representing our section 2, which begins at kilometer 288 714.6 and concludes at 288,814.6, also spanning 100 meters. Next slide, please. So here is the layout plan. So the comprehensive scope of this project entails the following key components. In section 1, the work comprises replacing of 0.1 lane kilometer of the left side of the inner lane carriageway with a 300 thick PCCP, pouring concrete of 0.2 lane kilometer of the right side of both the inner and outer lane carriageways, constructing a 1.5-meter wide shoulder with a thickness of 230 millimeter, erecting curb and gutter infrastructures, implementing road protection measures by installing guardrails. At section 2, it involves extending concrete work for 0.2 lane kilometers on the right side of the inner and outer carriageways, creating a U-shaped line canal to enhance drainage, adding guardrails for safety and protection works. Additionally, the project encompasses installing solar lighting systems in the median for improved visibility and safety, implementing slope protection measures with rubble concrete downstream of the river to prevent erosion and ensure structural integrity. The aggregate will originate from the Barret Bed Quarry, situated roughly 4.8 kilometers away from the project site, while the materials will be sourced from Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya, which is approximately 7 kilometers from project site. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So here's the geotag photos with the project with a geotag description of 16 degrees 36 minutes 29 seconds north and 121 degrees 16 minutes 57 seconds east. Next slide, please. This is the typical roadway section with normal super elevation. Next slide, please. And the typical roadway section with super elevation. That would be all, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Maria Angelica de la Cruz, for discussing to us the project with contract ID 23BI 123. 122. So again, may I ask the Secretariat, does anyone from our YouTube live viewers who have questions or clarification regarding this project? None. So let's proceed.
Mr. Chair, may I be recognized again?
Yes, Mr. Backchair, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe, you are recognized.
Engineer De La Cruz mentioned a while ago about the curb and gutter. Do we have a curb and gutter?
Yes, sir.
What is the type of concrete curb and gutter to be constructed in the proposed
Precast.
construction of approaches?
Precast curb and gutters. It's precast.
Precast. As shown in our screen, may kurbada ito.
Yes, sir. On
Sa approach, dito sa first approach at saka sa second approach, there is a curve. Sa right side is, yan. Saan mo ilalagay yung curb and gutter, precast curb and gutter? Sa first approach o dun sa may second
at the
approach?
first approach, sir.
And then
on the section 2, which is the second approach, it would be the U-line canal, sir.
U-shaped canal.
U-shaped canal.
Kasi
Yun po kasi yung existing dun, sir.
yes, meron kasing konting kurbada dito sa kwan. Dito sa may first approach. Kasi ang precast hindi mo pwedeng ilagay kung may curve.
Minimal lang, sir.
And then, okay. Is there a proposed slope protection works at the second approach?
None, sir.
There is none. Why? Because there is already an existing slope protection
sir.
works. Dito lang sa first approach.
Yes.
Sige. Yun lang. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe. That question or clarification to Engineer De La Cruz, the preparer. So again, may I ask from our fellow back members, let's start from Engineer Jermin Buenavista from the Planning and Design section. With any amendments for this particular project?
Mr. Chair, clarification. Tanong ko lang doon sa about doon sa tingin cross section. Yung sa curve and gutter, both side yon ilalagay, pati yung U-shape canal na yon. Ay, kasi doon nakalagay dalawa. Left and right doon sa cross section. 4 lane na ba yun?
4 lane. Bali magiging 4 lane po tayo dyan.
Tapos ito dito sa patingin ng cross section, aling Ayan no, kasi dito ano na 2 lane pa. Kaya akala ko yung isang side, isang way may curve and gutter na both sides. Kasi 2 lane siya nakalagay dito.
Lang siguro.
May hats. Oo. So i-revise lang konti siguro yung drawing dito sa left side.
Yes, sir.
Tapos ganun din sa U-shape canal. Tapos ano mo nga alin dun sa ano sa topo niya. Ayan, sa topo niya, kasi meron din, yung nakashade, di ba, proposed project. Meron siyang nakashade papunta dun sa dati niya, which is sa left side. Ibig, mako-concrete ba doon? Mapi-PCCP din siya?
Yes, sir. It will be removed and replaced. It will be included in the project.
So
At
additional
section 1.
PCCP that section.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's clarification.
Mr. Chair, may I again be recognized?
Yes, Mr. Vice Chair, you are recognized.
This is in addition to the query of Engineer Jermin Buenavista. Pakibalik mo ulit dun sa cross-section. Our clarification is for the prospective bidders. Ano?
Yeah.
Hindi para sa amin. As per typical section, 4 lanes yan. Okay? But then, the bridges is constructed parallel.
Yes, sir.
So, hindi sila magkatikit.
No, sir.
Di ba? So, how come na ganyan yung cross-section nung proposed na approaches? Kasi dun sa may existing na bridge, naka-slope na yon. Paano magdudugtong na ganyan yon dun sa second approach? Secondly, the second approach is higher than the existing PCCP. Are you aware of that? Mas mataas itong second approach kaysa dito sa pagpapantayin nyo ba yon? Pag pinagpantay mo yon, mas hindi mo pwedeng pagpantayin pala kasi nga mas mataas yung bridge sa kabilang bangir kaysa dito sa left side.
Parehas.
Parehas?
Parehas.
So, but then there is an existing canal in the second approach of the 6 existing bridge. Are you
Yes, sir.
going to remove and replace that?
We'll connect the existing canal from our proposed canal, sir.
So, you're going to construct not a 4 lanes, but a 2 lanes with shoulder. Hindi siya ganyang 4 lanes. Hindi ba?
Parang magiging 4 lanes yung approaches, sir. Then magko-connect po sila. Magkakaroon po ng
No, the
transition.
existing approach, the first approach ng existing bridge, naka-slope na gano'n yan. Tapos yung another bridge mo, hindi mo pwedeng idugtong kasi nga yung may crown na yung existing na first approach.
Yes, sir.
Kung titingnan mo yung geotag photos mo,
May
you're
separate.
going to construct a 2-lane approach with
Yes, sir.
shoulder.
Yes, sir.
Hindi 4 lanes as the typical section as you have shown in your presentation.
Yes, sir.
Tama, Jermaine?
Ganito,
Yes, sir.
ganito sir. May kwan yan may transition, may separator dito sa approach. Pero pagdating doon sa dulo, yun magko-connect na 4 lanes na dapat ma-hats lang yung existing. Then dalawang section ang ipapakita mo.
Yes,
Doon
sir.
sa magpo 4 lanes, tapos dito sa mismong approach na may separator. 'Di ba may separator yan as per yung yellow book na gayang ginawa natin dun sa Namamparan. Na may mga
Bali, hindi ko lang po na-include din po yung typical cross-section dyan sa part ng may median, sir.
Kasi hindi mo siya pwedeng na 4 lanes as typical na section
Yes,
na
sir.
ganon. Kasi nga yung existing na approaches both sides, may crown na siya, and then mayroong shoulder, mayroong canal both sides.
On the right side only, sir. The canal will be on the right side only.
Yes, but then ibig kong sabihin, yung existing kasi na
Yes.
bridge, meron na siyang shoulder, meron siyang canal.
Canal.
O kasi kami yung nag-construct dyan noon.
Yes, sir.
And then, yung sabi ko nga, from the existing approach, second approach, yung natural grade line dito sa may new bridge, mas mataas. Yung existing na roadway na kwan dyan noon, araw.
tatanggalin yun. Hindi pa parehas.
Nakatuloy siya pa na eh.
Ato cutting.
Doon sa second approach, mataas yun.
Di ba ikakat yun?
Pataas.
Ikakat.
Ikakat din lang din pataas.
Para po marehas dun sa wall.
And then secondly, regarding the road right of way, well coordinated ba yan? Kasi maraming naka-encroach sa road right of way. Nahirapan kami ni Mr. Chair noon nung ginawa namin yung bridge na yan. Kasi sa second approach, on the left side, Vizcaya yan sa RTC. Tapos on the right side, judge yan sa MTC. Nahirapan kami dyan noon, na-convince sila.
Pulis pa, pulis kalinga.
Mayroon pang pulis dun sa may kwan. Pulis sa Kalinga. I hope well coordinated yan. But then dito sa first approach, walang gaanong problema doon kasi nga existing na kalsada yung nung araw. But then on the second approach, mag-widening tayo doon. I hope na nakausap niyong mabuti yung mga, I should say, squatter. Kasi hindi nila pag-aari yung loting tinayo ng kanilang mga bahay dyan. Yes, 30-30. Sabihin mo yan sa mga piskal, sa mga abogado, sa mahirap mo silang i-convince. Sila pa yung mahirap i-convince. That's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Danilo Bernabe, or back Vice Chair, for the clarification of this particular project, answered by Engineer De La Cruz. So, fellow back members, do you have any, let's start from Engineer Jermin Benavista from the Planning and Design section, if we have any amendments for this particular project.
I have no amendments, Mr. Chair.
Okay, noted. Engineer Bayani F. Molina from the construction section.
As clarification, sir, no amendments, sir.
Okay, thank you, noted. Architect Ivy Salazar, or provisional member for all types.
I have no amendments, sir.
Okay, noted. Madam Veronica Leodovico, from our regular member, back regular member.
No amendment, Mr. Back Chair.
Noted, Madam. Our back Vice Chair, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe.
No amendments on the bidding documents, Your Honor. But then I would like to request for the modification or correct lang yung detail ng cross sections para nun mayroong susundan yung ating mga contractors. Thank you. Yun lang. Thank you.
Okay, noted. Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe, or back Vice Chairs. Since we have no amendment for this particular project as discussed by our preparer, so we will adopt the basic contract data as advertised. So let's proceed for the project number 6, which is with contract ID number 23BI0123. The name of project is Construction of San Fernando Flood Control at Barangay San Fernando, Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. This particular project will be discussed to us by the preparer, Engineer Marston Degamo. Engineer Degamo, take it away.
Good morning to everyone. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm Marston Degamo, prepared the plan of the project. Contract ID number is 23BI0123. Name of project, organizational outcome 2, protects life and properties against major flood control management program construction / maintenance of flood mitigation structures and drainage system, construction of San Fernando flood control at Barangay San Fernando, Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. Location of the project, Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. Approved budget for the contract is 49 million pesos only. Project description: installation of 472 linear meter steel sheet pile U-type with pile cap and reinforced concrete slope protection with embankment at the back and construction of rubble concrete for anchorage. Duration of the project is 361 calendar days. Cost of bid documents is 25,000 pesos only. Source of fund, regular infra for year 2023. Pickup license range, medium A. Next page. page, please. Hello. Okay. This is a satellite view location map showing the project. It is almost 3 kilometers away from Bambang proper. The project is located along Bambang Kasibu Quezon Road. Next slide, please. This is a more detailed satellite view of the project. The project will be connected to the abutment A of the San Fernando Bridge downstream. Next slide, please. This is a topographic plan of the proposed project. Okay. Next slide, please. This is a detail of the concrete slope, typical plan of every section. It will be showing the concrete slope protection with a height of 5 meters, uh, a pile cap with a dimension of 0.50 by 0.50, with a steel sheet pile with a length of 7 meters. The total height from the top of the pile cap to the top of the parapet is 5.5 its total length, regardless of the pile cap and the length of the sheet pile. Next slide, please. This is a more detailed picture of the concrete parapet showing its dimension 0.5 by 0.25 from its thickness, and it will be provided with 10 mm diameter with holes spaced at 2 meters apart. Next slide, please. This is an isometric view of the complete project section, which comprise of the cut-off wall. The distance of every cut-off wall would be 50 meters. Next slide, please. This is a geotag photo. At the left side is the beginning of the project. It will be connected to an existing rubble concrete. And at the right side would be the end of the project. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Marston Degamo, for discussing to us the scope of work of this particular project. So again, may I ask the Secretariat to have anyone from our YouTube live viewers have questions or clarifications, especially our prospective bidders? None? So,
Recognize, Mr. Chair.
okay, Sir Back Vice Chair, you are recognized.
Engineer Marston, pakiano mo nga yung detail ng, hindi kasi this is for the benefit of our prospective bidders. Pakiano mo ngang mabuti yung mga whip holes kasi parang kulang ka sa detalye.
Yes, sir.
What was the spacing of the whip holes? Horizontal lang yung pinakita mo, wala kang vertical.
Yes, sir. We consider lang po kasi yung contour sa maximum experience flood level, doon lang po sa top ng contour. Grade line, 1 meter below.
Wala kayong
From the bottom.
dito sa baba?
Wala, sir. Hindi na po namin nilagyan.
Baka pangay. Kasi karon ti water pressure mo dyan nga atong lang nga ikabel, DJ lang. Yun lang sa taas na yon.
Pilote matigilin.
Ito yung babangay. Kasi kahit kahit na tawag doon, kung mataas yung tubig, hindi naman kayang i-shield nung steel sheet piles. Yung tubig, siyempre pupunta siya sa kabila. Magkakaroon pa rin siya ng water pressure. Did you not consider na magkaroon ng pressure sa kabila?
Yung sa
Kasi
kabila,
masasaturate yung yung embankment. By the way, saan pala yung you did not explain to our prospective bidders kung saan magagaling ang ating embankment and also the boulders kasi walang boulders sa San Fernando.
yes sir. Naglagay po kami ng kwan, sir. The embankment itself is computed, tapos we did come up na magkakaroon po siya ng embankment from borrow, sir.
So it will came from the existing riverbed. Magkakaroon ng channeling doon manggagaling yung embankment nyo.
Sir, yung embankment po kasi namin is we computed po kasi na kinonsider po namin yung excavation of structures. Ina-add po namin kasi yon for embankment din, sir.
Yes.
Tapos kung meron pong
Yung kulang.
kulang, bumibili po kami ng borrow.
What is the source of your borrow?
From Makate po, sir.
Di ba? Uddiawan. Di downstream. Pakita mo yung kan mo. Diyan. Doon sa downstream o doon sa may left side na kan. Doon maraming embankment doon.
Yes, sir. Inano mo naman po namin, sir. Kinompute po namin yung cut and fill niya, sir. Tapos, kinonsider naman po namin yung mga from channeling, from structural, yung,
Yes,
saka yung...
precisely yun yung sinasabi ko na magagaling doon sa may channeling mo din. Parang double purpose.
Yes po.
You're going to channel and then the excess waste material will be for borrow
Yes,
sa
sir.
embankment.
Yes, sir.
So isa lang na linya nga road talaga yung inyong falls.
Yes, sir.
Ganito kasi sir, di ba may quality yung ginagawa nating retaining wall. Naglagay tayo, like for example sa Tapaya Bridge. Kaya naglagay kami ng whip holes up to the freeboard lang. Kasi below the freeboard, kung yun ang tatamaan ng mga tubig, baka ma-penetrate niya yung embankment. So, yun lang ang mga pina-close nun lahat ng retaining wall natin. Malalagay siya doon sa...
Pero sa mga bridge approach ko, dapat filter cloth na naman sa Maria.
Oo. So, sa kunan lang natin ilagay yung maglagay tayo ng whip holes up to the freeboard lang. Sa below the freeboard, baka pupunta doon yun yung kwan niya. Yung tubig, makukuha niya. Baka ma-wash out yung mga embankment.
At saka wala naman pong ano sir, yung parang existing na water source sa likod niya sir kasi nakadikit po siya sa haipang.
Doon sa embankment kasi, so pag umulan, masasaturate yun, magkikreate siya ng water pressure. Yun lang inisip ko. But then, pakita mo nga na lang for the benefit of our prospective bidder, yung detail doon sa may whipples. Hindi dyan, sa isa pa, yung detalye niya. Kaya paki-enlarge mga yung second na cross-section.
Yung sa baba.
Hindi, doon sa taas.
Yung sa taas.
Hindi, yung sa baba. Yung second na to. Yan. Oh. Paki-enlarge mo nga, Juan. Yan na ba yon?
Yes, sir.
Yan yung may filter cloth.
Yes, sir.
Okay, usually kasi mayroong 30 by 30 na gravel packing.
Yes, sir, meron po. Kuan nga yung ano niya, yung sulat niya. I-move mo lang konti.
gravel packing design.
Yes, sir, yung naka-hatch po na medyo medyo pino po siya. Yun po yung gravel packing.
So yung parang boulders yan is an aggregate.
Yung kwan po yun, sir, is yung bed course. Bed course po, sir, parang inano na lang po namin. Kasi yung slope protection itself po, ay nilagyan namin ng
Okay. Paki-discuss na rin din kasi hindi mo na-discuss yung detalye nung sheet piles. Andyan naman.
Oh, yes, sir, nandito po. Sa baba, paki-turn lang. The design sheet file to be used is, as it's shown, medyo i-zoom out mo po. Thank you. Yung width po nung sheet file is 400 mm. And the thickness of the plate is 10.50 mm. Tapos yung height po yung height niya po is 100. Pagko-combine pa parang total ng 0.2 or 200, sir. Which is pasok naman po sa file cap natin na may dimension ng 50.
That's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair, Engineer Danilo Ibernampe, for the clarification as answered by our preparer, by Engineer Marston Degamo. So, again, fellow back members, let's start from the planning and design section. Engineer Jerwin Buenavista, do you have any other amendment for this particular project?
Mr. Chair, I have an amendments regarding the EAW. Since this project was released from the central office into the and implemented by our office, so the EAW was decreased into from 49 million EAW ABC from 49 million to 48 million 250,000. So there is 750, sir. 750 for 48 million 250,000
Bumaba.
na bumaba, sir. Yes, sir.
Project
So we have a revision also in the length of the project from 472 linear meter to 410 ay 400 linear meter.
400.
Yes, sir. To accommodate the ABC. Since there are release SARO already, so the EAW from the release SARO is 48,250,000. And then we have an amendments also in the duration of the project from 361 calendar days to 232 calendar days. Since this project is released with the regular infra FY 2023, so we compress the calendar days. Yung calendar days.
The calendar days.
Yes, sir.
Then,
Yes, sir.
how about the length of the steel X5? The same din ba?
Same din sa 400, sir.
7 meters?
400, sir. Pare sila, sir, ng length ng yung steel sheet pile, sir. Yung length niya, sir. Yung depth niya. Parehas din, sir. 7, yes, sir.
That's all? That's all?
That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Jerwin Benista from the Planning and Design Section for the amendment for this particular project because there is already received SARO for this, so we need to revise the ABC and the project description, also the duration. So any other amendment from other back members from the construction section? Engineer Bayani Molina.
No amendments, sir, as discussed by Engineer Jermin Benavista.
Okay, noted. About Architect Ivy Salazar or provisional member for all types of procurement.
I have no amendment, sir.
Okay, noted. Madam Veronica Leodopico, have any amendment or
I have no amendment, Mr. Chair, but I hope we all take note on the amendment of Engineer Buenavista.
Okay, noted, Madam Beron. About our back Vice Chair, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe.
No amendments, Mr. Chair. I'll go to the amendment presented or discussed by Engineer Jermin Buenavista.
Okay, noted. Thank you. Please take note from the Secretariat, Engineer Brian Neil Agusto to amend. We will amend the the ABC from 49 million to 48,250,000, and for the project division from 472 linear meter, the original length, to 400 linear meter, and for the duration from 361 calendar days to 232 calendar days. So this is the amendment for the basic contract data as advertised.
Noted, Mr. Chair, the procurement unit will issue a supplemental bid bulletin regarding for the amendments for the correction of the approved budget for the contract from 49 million to 48,250,000, and for the project description of installation of a 400 linear meter steel sheet piles to 400 linear meter steel sheet piles, and for the correction of the project duration from 361 calendar days to 232 calendar days. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Engineer Augusto. So let's proceed for the last project with project number 7 with contract ID number 23BI0124. It says the construction of multi-purpose building at San Antonio Norte, Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. This project will be discussed to us by the preparer, Engineer Jerry Tan. Okay, Engineer Tan, take it away.
Good morning to everyone. I am Jerry Tan II from Planning and Design section, and I am here to discuss the project entitled Infrastructure Program Multipurpose Building Facilities to Support Social Services, Construction of Multipurpose Building located at San Antonio North, Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya, with a contract ID number of 23BI0124 and indicative approved budget for the contract of 2,970,000. The project description for this multipurpose building was construction of 10 meters by 15 meters multipurpose hall with a total calendar days of 135. The cost of bid documents with an amount of 5,000 pesos. The source of fund is regular infra FY 2023 with the pickup license size range of small b. Next. Next slide, please. Next. Yan. As shown on the screen is the perspective of the proposed multipurpose building with bleachers on the right side and a shed on the right front of the covered court. Next on the screen is our project site location and existing two-story multipurpose building with the coordinates of 16.362 north and 121.106 east along the DM Junction to Malasin Road. If you are from Bambang going to Dupax, the project location is on the right side. Next slide, please. This is the proposed floor plan. We can see on the top of the screen is the existing two-story barangay hall, and on the left side is on the screen is the existing bleachers. The scope of work for this project includes the construction of foundation to concrete column with plastering and paintings, construction of steel pipe truss with roofing sheet, flashing and gutter, construction of bleachers on the right side of the covered court with plastering and paintings, the shed on the right front of the covered court with plastering and paintings, CHB canal with steel grating on both sides of the covered court, and electrical works including wires and lighting fixtures. Next slide, please. This is the front elevation of the multipurpose building. Next. This is the rear elevation, left side elevation, right side elevation, cross section, longitudinal section. For the source of aggregate for this project is from Kupas Quarry, and the source of material is from Bambang Town proper. That's all po. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Jerry Tan, for discussing to us this particular project. So again, may I ask the Secretariat if do we have any question or clarification from our YouTube live viewers, especially our prospective bidders? None? So let's proceed for fellow back members. Do we have any amendment? Let's start from Engineer Jermin Buenavista from the Planning and Design section.
I have no amendments, Mr. Chair.
Okay, noted, Engineer Buenavista. Engineer Bayani Molina from the construction section.
No amendments, Mr. Chair.
Okay, noted, Engineer Molina. Architect Ivy Salazar.
I have no amendment, sir.
Okay, noted. Madam Veronica Leodopico from.
No amendment, Mr. Chair.
Noted. Engineer Danilo Ibarrate, our back vice chair.
No amendments, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay, noted. So since we have no amendment for this particular project, then we'll adapt the basic contract data as advertised. So we have finished the first agenda, which is the basic contract data. So let's proceed for the second agenda, which is the requirements of bidding documents, to be discussed to us by our head procurement unit, Engineer Brian Neil Augusto. Engineer Augusto, take it away.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for the second agenda for the requirement of the bidding documents. These are applicable for the 5 civil works projects with contract ID number 23BI0118, construction of multipurpose Poblacion, Villaverde, and Nueva, Vizcaya. Contract ID number 23BI0119, construction of multipurpose building, Bintawan, Norte, Villaverde, and Nueva, Vizcaya. Contract ID number 23BI0120, construction of multipurpose building, Dulli, Ambaguio, Nueva, Vizcaya. Contract ID number 23BI0121, construction of multipurpose building, Uddiawan, Solano, Nueva, Vizcaya. And contract ID number 23BI0124, construction of multipurpose building, San Antonio North, Bambang, Nueva, Vizcaya. For ITB close 14.1, major work category, building construction without piles, low-rise concrete frame, 1 to 5 stories. For ITB close, instruction to bidders close 14.2A for B, the minimum work experience requirements for the key personnel are the following. For the key personnel, we have the project engineer, project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, foreman, and safety officer. Minimum years of similar work experience, same position is 3 years. Minimum years of total work experience, same position is 3 years. Accredited safety officer required upon issuance of notice award, subject to Department Order Number 98, Series of 2014, submission of Construction Safety and Health Program approved by the Department of Labor and Employment or DOLE. For ITB close 14.2A4, the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. For the description, we have the plate compactor, required unit is 1. 1 bagger mixer, required unit is 1. Bar cutter, required unit is 1. Bar bender, required unit is 1. Welding machine, diesel, gas driven, required unit is 1. Cutting outfit, required units is 1. Dump truck, required unit is 1. Concrete saw, required units is 1. And portable breaker, required unit is 1. For the laboratory equipment, please refer to Department Order Number 11, Series of 2017, for the minimum materials testing equipment, and Department Order Number 127, Series of 2018, strict application of Republic Act 9184, the conduct of post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts within the DPWH. For the contract ID number 23BI0122, Allen, contract 23BI0122 for the name of the project, widening of permanent bridges, Tapaya Bridge, B0448AZ, along Daang Maharlika, LZ, Bagabag, Nueva, Vizcaya. For ITB close 14.1, major work category, bridge construction, concrete superstructure without piles. For ITB close 14.2A, 4B, the minimum work experience requirements for the key personnel are the following. For the key personnel, we have the project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, foreman, and safety officer. Minimum years of similar experience, same position is 3 years. Minimum of total work experience, same position is 3 years. Accredited safety officer required upon issuance of notice of award, subject to Department Order number 98, series of 2014, submission of construction, safety and health program approved by the Department of Labor and Employment or DOLE. For ITB clause 14.2A4, the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. For the description, number 1, payloader required units 1, dump truck required units is 2, water truck pump required units is 1, cargo service truck required units is 1, backhoe wheel mounted required unit is 1, backhoe with grader required units is 1, bulldozer, plate compactor, motorized road grader required units is 1, vibratory roller, transit mixer and concrete vibrator required units is 1, concrete batch plant required unit is 1, concrete screeder, concrete saw, bar cutter required unit is 1, bar bender, 1 bagger mixer and boom truck required units is 1. For the laboratory equipment, please refer to DO11 series of 2017 for the minimum materials testing equipment and Department Order number 127 series of 2018, strict application of Republic Act 9184, the conduct of post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts with DPWH. For contract ID number 23BI0123, Allen, with the name of the project, construction of San Fernando Flood Control at Barangay San Fernando, Bambang, Nueva, Vizcaya. For ITB clause 14.2A to A1, major category of works, flood control construction, slope protection using structural measures. For ITB clause 14.2A, 4B, the minimum work experience requirements for the key personnel are the following. For the key personnel, we have project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, foreman, and safety officer. Minimum years of similar experience, same position is 5 years. Minimum years of total work experience, same position is 5 years. Accredited safety officer required upon issuance of notice of award, subject to Department Order number 98, series of 2014, submission of construction, safety and health program approved by the Department of Labor and Employment or DOLE. For ITB clause 14.2, A4, the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. For the description of the equipments, we have dump truck, required units is 2, water truck, required units is 4, cargo service truck, low bed trailer, motorized road grader, required units is 1, vibratory roller, bulldozer and payloader, required units is 1, bar cutter, bar bender, 1 bagger mixer, bar bender, required units is 1, 1 bagger mixer, required units is 4, concrete vibrator and plate compactor, required units is 1, backhoe, required units is 4, crawler crane, required units is 1, vibro hammer, welding machine and cutting outfit, required units is 1. For the laboratory equipment, please refer to DO11 series of 2017 for the minimum materials testing equipment and the partner order number 127 series of 2018, strict application of Republic Act 9184, the conduct of post-qualification of the bidders with delayed ongoing contracts with the DPWH. Sir, that's all for the requirement of the bidding documents for the 7 civil works projects to wit. Thank you.
Thank you, our Head Secretariat, Engineer Brian Augusto for discussing the agenda number 2, which is the requirements of bidding documents. So let's proceed for the next agenda, which is the documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposal. Again, Engineer Brian Nail Augusto, kindly discuss the technical and financial proposals.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for the documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposal, shall be played through audio recording, sir. Thank you.
Okay, please continue. Please play.
Technical and financial components. Number 1. Technical component envelope. Class A documents. For legal documents, letter A, valid Bldg's registration certificate, platinum membership, all pages. Or letter B, registration certificate from Securities and Exchange Commission, Department of Trade and Industry for sole proprietorship, or Cooperative Development Authority for cooperatives or its equivalent document. And letter C, mayor's or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of the prospective bidder is located, or the equivalent document for exclusive economic zones or areas. And letter D, tax clearance per EO number 398, series of 2005, as finally reviewed and approved by the Bureau of Internal Revenue. For technical documents, letter E, statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. And letter F, a statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, or SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided under the rules. And letter G, Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board or PCAB license, or special PCAB license in case of joint ventures. And registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid. And letter F, original copy of bid security in the form of surety bond. Submit also the certification issued by the Insurance Commission, or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration. And letter I, project requirements, which shall include the following. First, organizational chart for the contract to be bid. Second, list of contractors' key personnel, for example, project manager, project engineers, materials engineers, safety officer, and foreman, to be assigned to the contract to be bid, with their complete qualification and experience data. Third, list of contractors' major equipment units which are owned, leased, and or under purchase agreements, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor, vendor, or the duration of the project as the case may be. And last, list of contractors' minimum material testing equipment which are owned as per Department Order Number 11, Series of 2017. For letter J, original duly signed Omnibus Sworn Statement o OSS, and if applicable, original notarized secretary's certificate in case of corporation, partnership, or cooperatives, or original special power of attorney of all members of joint venture, giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and to do acts to represent the bidder. For financial documents, letter K, the prospective bidder's audited financial statements showing, among others, the prospective bidder's total and current assets and liabilities is stamp received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission. And letter L, the prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity or NFCC, Class B documents. Letter M, if applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement or JVA in accordance with the Republic Act number 4566 and its IRR in case the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statement from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the JVA in the instance that the bid is successful. Number 2, financial component envelope. Letter N. Original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form and other documentary requirements under Republic Act Number 9184. Letter O. Original of duly signed bid prices in the Bill of Quantities. Letter P. Duly accomplished detailed estimate form, including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rental used in coming up with the bid. And letter Q. Cash flow by quarter.
Sir, that's all for the agenda number 3 for the documents to be submitted by the bidders, including technical and financial proposals. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Brian Ilagusto, for the pre-recorded presentation for agenda number 3. So let's proceed for agenda number 4, which is the criteria and procedure for the preliminary examination of the bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, and award. To be discussed to us by our provisional back member for all types of procurement, architect IBO Salazar.
Thank you, sir. May we listen to the pre-recorded audio presentation? Thank you.
Okay, please play.
Pre-bid conference. Detailed evaluation of bids. For the procurement of goods and infrastructure projects, the BAC shall evaluate the financial component of the bids to determine the lowest calculated bid using the following steps. The BAC shall immediately conduct a detailed evaluation of all bids using non-discretionary criteria in considering the following. Completeness of the bid. Unless the instructions to bidders specifically allow partial bids, bids not addressing or providing all of the required items in the bidding documents, including, where applicable, bill of quantities, shall be considered non-responsive and thus automatically disqualified. In this regard, where a required item is provided but no price is indicated, the same shall be considered as non-responsive. But specifying 0 or a dash for the said item would mean that it is being offered for free to the government, except those required by law or regulations to be provided for. Arithmetical corrections. Consider computational errors and omissions to enable proper comparison of all eligible bids. It may also consider bid modifications if expressly allowed in the bidding documents. Any adjustment shall be calculated in monetary terms to determine the calculated prices. The BAC shall evaluate all bids on an equal footing to ensure fair and competitive bid comparison. For this purpose, all bidders shall be required to include the cost of all taxes, such as, but not limited to, value-added tax, income tax, local taxes, and other fiscal levies and duties, which shall be itemized in the bid form and reflected in the detailed estimates. Such bids, including said taxes, shall be basis for bid evaluation and comparison. In case of discrepancies between bid prices in figures and in words, the latter shall prevail. Between total price per item and unit price for the item as extended or multiplied by the quantity of that item, the latter shall prevail. Between stated total price and the actual sum of prices of component items, the latter shall prevail. Between unit cost in the detailed estimate and unit cost in the bill of quantities, the latter shall prevail. Post-qualification. Objective and process of post-qualification. The lowest calculated bid shall undergo post-qualification in order to determine whether the bidder concerned complies with and is responsive to all the requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding documents. within 5 calendar days from receipt by the bidder of the notice from the bank that the bidder has the lowest calculated bid, the bidder shall submit to the bank its latest income and business tax returns and other appropriate licenses and permits required by law and stated in the bidding documents. Failure to submit any of the post-qualification requirements on time or a finding against the veracity thereof shall disqualify the bidder for award, provided that in the event that a finding against the veracity of any of the documents submitted is made, it shall cause the forfeiture of the bid security in accordance with Section 69 of this IRR. The post-qualification shall verify, validate, and ascertain all statements made and documents submitted by the bidder with the lowest calculated bid using non-discretionary criteria as stated in the bidding documents. These criteria shall consider but shall not be limited to the following. Legal requirements. To verify, validate, and ascertain licenses, certificates, permits, and agreements submitted by the bidder, and the fact that it is not included in any blacklist as provided in Section 25.3 of this IRR. For this purpose, the GPPB shall maintain a consolidated file of all blacklisted suppliers, contractors, and consultants. Technical requirements. To determine compliance of the infrastructure projects offered with the requirements specified in the bidding documents, including, where applicable, verification and validation of the bidder's stated competence and experience, and the competence and experience of the bidder's key personnel to be assigned to the project for the procurement of infrastructure projects. Verification of availability and commitment and/or inspection and testing for the required capacities and operating conditions of equipment unit to be owned, leased, under, purchased by the bidder for use in the contract. Negative slippage of at least 15% in any one project or a negative slippage of at least 10% in each of 2 or more contracts. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on ongoing contracts within 7 calendar days and to complete them within 30 calendar days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and deficiencies. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on contracts with pending certificates of acceptance within 30 calendar days and complete them within 90 days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and failures, or substandard quality of work as per contract plans and specifications, or unsatisfactory performance of the contractor's obligations as per contract terms and conditions at the time of inspection. If the bank verifies any of these deficiencies to be due to the contractor's fault or negligence, the agency shall disqualify the contractor from the award for the procurement of infrastructure projects.
That's all, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Architect IB Salazar, for the pre-recorded presentation for agenda number 4, which is the criteria and procedure for the preliminary examination of bids, dated evaluation of bids, post-qualification, and award. So let's proceed for the agenda number 5, which is the question, comments from bidders and replies of BAC and other representative of procuring entity. So may I ask from the Secretariat, does anyone have any amendment of the provision of the bidding documents as discussed, presented? None? So since we have no amendment for this, so we'll adopt the provision of the bidding documents for the 7 projects. So let's proceed for the other matters. So that is number 6, Does the Secretariat have any announcement to make?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we have the announcement reminder, sir, for the next procurement activities.
Okay, please read Engineer Brian Nelagusto, our Head Secretariat.
Yes, sir. Again, for the announcement reminders, for the opening of quotation, sir, for the 8 goods and services. Uh, may
You kindly read the details of these goods and services for the benefit of our prospective YouTube live viewers and prospective bidders.
Okay, thank you again, once again, Mr. Chair, for the 8 goods and services with contract ID number 23GBI66, procurement of 9,800 liter diesel, fuel, etc. for use of various vehicle and equipment in the maintenance section. Location of the project is DPWH Bayambong, Nueva, Vizcaya, with an approved budget for the contract of 996,840 pesos, with a project duration of 30 calendar days. For the second quotation, sir, with contract ID number 23GBI67, name of the project, procurement of 3,500 liter diesel fuel for use of various vehicle in the planning and design section. Location of project is DPWH Bayambong, Nueva Vizcaya, with an indicative with an approved budget for the contract of 255,850 pesos with a duration of 30 calendar days. The third quotation, sir, with contract ID number 23GBI68, name of the project, procurement of 78 rolls A2 Mylar matte film, 594 mm by 20 meter, 75 micron, etc. for use in the planning and design section. Location of the project is Bayambong, Nueva Vizcaya, with an approved budget for the contract of 486,955 pesos, with a project duration of 30 calendar days. The fourth quotation, sir, is for with contract ID number 23GBI69, name of the project, procurement of 50 reams bond paper, A3, etc. for use of DPWH Nueva Vizcaya First District Engineering Office. Location of the project is Bayambong, DPWH Bayambong, Nueva Vizcaya, with an approved budget for the contract or ABC of 62,325 pesos. Duration is 30 calendar days. The fifth quotation, sir, with contract ID number 23GBI70, name of project, procurement of 2 cart TZ5300, ink black 700 ml, etc. for use of Canon platter TZ5300. Location of the project is DPWH Bayambong, Nueva Vizcaya, with an approved budget for the contract of 133,000 with a duration of 30 calendar days. The sixth quotation, sir, is with contract ID number 23GBI71, name of project, procurement of 1 unit total station, GoWin, TKS2 Auto, 20202, charger, etc. Accessories of survey equipment for use in the planning and design section. Location of the project is Bayambong, Nueva Vizcaya, with an approved budget for the contract of 222,500 pesos only, with contract duration of 30 calendar days. The seventh quotation, sir, with contract ID number 23GBI72, name of project, procurement of 15 tank LPG refill, 11 kilograms, etc. for use in the maintenance of national roads and bridges. Location of the project is DPWH Bayambong, Nueva Vizcaya, with an approved budget for the contract of 916,500 pesos with the contract duration of 30 calendar days. The last project quotation, sir, is with contract ID number 23GBI73, name of project, procurement of 2-piece slit shoe applicator, 10 cm, etc. for use in the maintenance of national roads and bridges. Location of the project is DPWH Bayambong, Nueva Vizcaya, with approved budget for the contract or ABC of 174,000 pesos, with a project duration of 30 calendar days upon issuance of NTP. That's also for the 8 goods and services through quotations. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Brian Nilagusto, for the announcement reminder, which will be the eight goods and services will be scheduled on October 24, 2023. So again, may I remind that we will give letters to our observers for this invitation for the observers for these goods and services. Okay, thank you. So let's proceed for the last agenda, which is the summary of proceedings, including bid bulletins, addenda to be issued. So again, may remind, please take note, we have will issue a bid bulletin for the one particular project for with contract ID number 23BI 10123, which is the construction of San Fernando flood control at Barangay San Fernando, Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya, for the for the ABC from 49 million to 48 million 250. For project description, for the length, it should be from 472 linear meter to 400 linear meter. And the last one for the duration, from 361 calendar days to 232 calendar days. Okay. So please take note, Engineer Brian Nilagusto, for this supplemental bid bulletin.
Noted, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. So that ends our pre-bid conference. So can you hear any announcement? Any other announcement or
No more.
no more announcement?
Mr. Chair.
Okay, I hear a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chair, inasmuch as we are done with the private conference for the 7 civil works project, I now move for the adjournment of today's private conference.
I second the motion, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Since it's been moved and seconded, as a back chair, I now declare that this private conference is officially closed. So, mabuhay tayong lahat and good morning to all.